Hi guys, hope everyone is good. Just a quick analysis of Euro USD, just a quick one. So, you guys can see that I've got the monthly chart open, and I can see that we have this formation over here, which is a triple bottom, and with a neckline at this level. We saw price breaking that neckline, going to the top, and then coming back to retest the neckline at around this region. The neckline unfortunately was not able to hold the retracement, and we saw price actually pushing further down to around this level. From this level, we saw price creating a small W. Actually, let me just draw that. So just to recap, we had this triple top over here with the neckline there. Price broke the neckline, then went back to retest it. Unfortunately, as I said, price was not able to, or rather the neckline was not able to hold price, and we saw price coming down further. Subsequent to that, we saw price creating a W structure in this region with the neckline being there. Similarly, price came back again to retest the neckline, and unfortunately the neckline was not able to hold price, as we saw the market coming down to that level. So the reason or rather my opinion at this point in time is that this entire move over here is a stop loss. It's a stop loss, or rather a stop hunt. Sorry, a stop hunt. It's a stop hunt because we had a W structure here with the neckline there. So when it comes to W structures, what normally happens is that people buy at this level and then buy again on the break of that W structure. So in this particular case, we saw, or rather, people bought at this region and bought again at this region once the neckline was broken, putting their stop losses just below that structure, right? Similarly, because we have this structure as well, which is a triple bottom, a lot of traders and investors bought in this region, that region, as well as that region, putting a lot of their stop losses just below that structure. Hence, I'm saying that I believe this particular move is a stop hunt. First, to grab the money that's sitting here, and secondly, to grab the money that's sitting here. So what may happen in the future is that we might see that price may actually reach maybe somewhere here, as opposed to just turning where it is currently. Price may come slightly downwards to trigger all those stop losses that I'm referring to. Nonetheless, let's move forward. So what else do we see on this chart that is interesting or significant? So we had an information there with a neckline there. However, we never got to see price come back to the neckline to retest it and then push further down, which is what we may see later on, where price comes back to this region just to test it, and we might see it actually coming down a bit. However, that neckline is still very much too far. But for now, what I'm gonna do is just add a neckline to it so that we don't forget about it. Just bear with me. Here goes our neckline. Okay, on the monthly chart. So what else do we see on this chart that is interesting or significant? I don't see anything further. So what I'm going to do right now is head over to the weekly chart. Let's see, what do we see on this weekly chart? What do we see on this chart? On this chart, I see that we have this candlestick over here, which is a bullish candlestick with a small body and a long upper wick, which tells us that at that particular level, we have a whole lot of liquidity sitting there, and that the market has to come to that level to grab that liquidity. Secondly, I see that we had an information here with a neckline there. Price broke the neckline, then went back to it to retest it. So we would have looked for further selling opportunities at this level. Nonetheless, that move has passed, let's keep going forward. So what else do we see on this chart that is interesting or significant? Another thing that is interesting is that we have in this region a bullish candlestick with a small body and a long upper wick, which tells us that we have a lot of liquidity here. And remember, guys, on the monthly chart rather, I spoke about that information, and also I spoke about the fact that whenever we have W formations or M formations, what normally happens is that in the case of M formations, people would buy on the second leg of the M, as well as when the neckline has been broken, putting their stop losses just above that structure. So in regards to this information, a lot of investors and traders sold at this point, and again at this point when the neckline was broken, meaning that there are a lot of stop losses that are sitting above that structure. So as much as I say that we have that candlestick with a lot of liquidity, we also have liquidity at the top of that M structure because of those stop losses that are sitting there. So we will see in the future price coming to that level to to grab those um, stop losses and liquidity. So um, for now, what I'm gonna do actually is because we have this M structure, I just want to add or rather the Fibonacci retracement tool, just to see if the neckline aligns with any of the key numbers. So just bear with me. Let's see. Let's see. So just bear with me, guys. So the neckline of this M structure is almost in line with the 61 point. Just bear with me. Is almost in line with the 61.8% Fibonacci um, level. So in the future, we might look for possible selling opportunities at around this level over here because of the neckline and the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement zone. Nonetheless, let's keep moving forward. I'm just going to delete this fib and let's proceed. I don't see anything else here that's particularly interesting. I'm just gonna from here move to the daily chart. However, there's also at this level a gap there, and as you know by now, gaps represent liquidity. So the scope actually for price to come back up because of all those levels. This liquidity candlestick, that gap, the neckline that needs to be tested, as well as this particular um, candlestick, which is a liquidity candlestick. And I spoke about the fact that we have a whole lot of stop losses that are sitting just above that M structure. So let's move to the daily chart. Here we are on the daily chart. The first thing that I'm going to do on this chart is add my channel. Just bear with me. Just bear with me, guys. I just want to make sure that it is as accurate as possible. And just to change the color, let's see, I'm going to make it a darker color. There we go. Okay, there goes our daily channel. So what else do we see on the daily chart? What else do we see on the daily chart? On the daily chart, I see a whole lot of M structures. For example, just bear with me. For example, there's an M structure here with the neckline there. Price at this point broke the neckline, then went back to the neckline to retest it. So we would have looked for further selling opportunities on the retest of the neckline. Also, we had another information here. In fact, it's a triple top because we had a touch there, and a touch there as well, with the neckline being there. Price broke the neckline and attempted to go back to test it. However, it never quite got to the neckline. So what else do we see? So even above those informations, I also see that price attempted to create what seems to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern in this region. However, it looks like it didn't quite work out, or that price actually is in the process of forming that right hand shoulder. But as I said, guys, that I believe that this whole move is a stop hunt to the bottom because of those levels that I spoke about that are carrying all of that liquidity. So at this point, I would not take this head and shoulders pattern too hard because I believe this whole move is a stop hunt. Nonetheless, let's keep moving forward. So what else do we see on this particular chart, which is the daily chart? Another thing that I see is that we had another head and shoulders pattern over here with the neckline being there. However, the neckline is yet to be tested at this level, and ideally I would love to see price coming back to this level to test it and then move further down. But for now, what I'm going to do is just add a neckline to that structure so that we don't forget about it. There we go. There we go. There goes our neckline. So let's see, what else do we see on this chart? So this information will be complete, in my humble opinion, once it reaches this particular level, right? And as I said, guys, that because of this move, which is a stop hunt, price is likely to actually close below this level. Nonetheless, let's move forward. So from here, I'm just going to move to the H4 chart. So here we are on the H4 chart. So what do we see on this H4 chart that is interesting or significant? Let's see. On the H4 chart, I see that we have this candlestick, which is also a liquidity candlestick, and it tells us that price has to come to that level to grab that liquidity at one point or another. So what else do we see? What else do we see? Let's see. So we also have this candlestick over here. It's also a liquidity candlestick. However, I can see that price at this level has grabbed that liquidity. Actually, it is yet to grab that liquidity. So price must get to that level to grab that liquidity. Let's see. What else do we see on this particular chart? I'm just going to make it slightly bigger. I don't see anything further at this stage. Let me move to the H1 chart. What do we see on the H1 chart? On the H1 chart, price seems to be moving sort of sideways, you could say, and I don't see any entries. However, let me just point out that as much as it seems as if the market is moving sideways, we actually have an overextended information in this region with the neckline being there. We saw price breaking the neckline and then going back to the neckline to retest it, and it also gave us this pin bar, which in my humble opinion indicates that the market will move further down. However, as much as we have this pin bar, we also have this candlestick over here, which is a bullish candlestick with a small body and a long upper wick. So this suggests that we have a lot of liquidity at that point, and that as much as the anticipation is that the market should move down, what we may see actually is price actually moving to this area to grab that liquidity and then moving further down. Should price come to this area, I think we should be looking for possible selling opportunities, and not just because we have this candlestick, but because this area seems to be a strong resistance area, right? So that is it, guys, in as far as my analysis of Euro USD is concerned. As I said to you guys that let me just go to the weekly chart again. On the weekly chart, I said that excuse me, just bear with me. In fact, let me go back to the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, I said that this entire move, in my humble opinion, is a stop hunt. Firstly, because of this W structure and the stop losses that are stuck here at this level, and secondly, because of this triple bottom and the stop losses that are stuck here. So we might see price, excuse me, actually coming down to around maybe this level, and that's where we may possibly start looking for buying opportunities. Yeah, so that's my analysis, guys, as far as Euro USD is concerned. So if you have any further questions, guys, just let me know. And if there are any other charts that you would like me to have a look at, just let me know. Thanks guys for watching, and peace out.